Welcome to Section 12.8, Part 2. This is the 134th session of the CISSP exam prep series. This part carries on from where the last one left off, moving from tunnel behavior into the protocols that actually carry a VPN. In this session, we'll look at how a VPN is configured and what it runs on. When should a tunnel stay connected on its own? What is the difference between a split tunnel and a full tunnel? And which protocols are used to build a VPN, from the oldest to the current standard? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because the protocol you pick decides whether remote traffic is truly protected. Imagine a field engineer connecting from an airport lounge to reach a manufacturing plant's controllers. Choose an obsolete protocol or a leaky tunnel setting, and you have handed an attacker a seat inside the plant. Your job is to make those choices deliberately, not accept whatever the vendor ships by default. When should a VPN stay connected on its own? That is the idea behind an always-on VPN. It tries to reconnect automatically every time a network link comes up, so protection never waits for a human to click connect. You mostly see this on phones and laptops that roam. You can even tune it to trigger only on wireless links or only on public internet links. Since any open link is risky, an always-on setup guarantees the secure channel is up before you touch a single online resource. What is the difference between a split tunnel and a full tunnel? A split tunnel lets the connected device reach both your corporate network and the open internet at the same time. That sounds convenient, but it is usually a security risk. Once the device is trusted on the internal network, its traffic often skips your filtering, so that open side door becomes an easy path for malware or data theft. A full tunnel sends everything back through your network first, then out through your own proxy or firewall. Think of a split tunnel as a house with a second unguarded door, while a full tunnel forces every visitor through the front gate. So which protocols actually build a VPN? There is a small family you should recognize: the older point-to-point tunneling protocol, the Layer 2 tunneling protocol, Secure Shell, OpenVPN, and IPSec. Each one wraps your traffic differently, and they range from obsolete to today's standard. Let's walk through them one at a time so you know where each fits. What is point-to-point tunneling protocol? It is an old encapsulation protocol grown out of dial-up networking, running at Layer 2 on IP networks over TCP port 1723. Its weak spot is the setup phase. The initial tunnel negotiation is not encrypted, so the packets that establish the session, including addresses and hash credentials, can be captured by a third party. Most current use leans on the Microsoft variant, which adds session encryption and stronger authentication. Treat this one as a legacy option that many systems still support, but you should avoid for new work. What is Layer 2 tunneling protocol? It came from blending point-to-point tunneling protocol with a Cisco forwarding protocol and became an internet standard. It runs at Layer 2 over UDP port 1701. So it can carry almost any Layer 3 protocol. It borrows authentication through the port-based access control standard, letting it lean on a central authentication server like Radius or TACACS+. On its own, it provides no encryption, so in practice, it is paired with the encryption piece of IPSec. A cousin here is generic routing encapsulation, a Cisco tunneling protocol that wraps traffic but adds no encryption of its own. What role does Secure Shell play as a VPN? Secure Shell is the encrypted replacement for older plaintext remote access tools running over TCP port 22. Everything it carries, both login and data, is encrypted, which is why you use it to remotely configure a router, switch, or firewall. It is versatile. It can secure file transfers, wrap other protocols, and act as a VPN. As a VPN, though, it is limited to a host-to-host style of end-to-end encryption between two individual machines. A quick memory hook. When the letter S sits at the front of a protocol name, the protection usually comes from Secure Shell, whose own name starts with S. What makes OpenVPN a practical choice? OpenVPN is built on the same transport layer security that protects secure websites, so it pairs strong protection with easy setup. It is open source and can authenticate with either shared passwords or certificates. Many wireless access points support it natively, which means a home or office access point can serve as a VPN gateway without extra hardware. Think of it as the friendly, well-documented option when you want solid security without a heavy configuration burden. What is IPSec, and why is it the heavyweight of the group? IPSec is a set of security extensions for IP added onto the older IP version and built into the newer one. It works only on IP networks and delivers both authenticated identity and encrypted data, which is why it is the go-to for site-to-site and host-to-host tunnels. Here is the key exam point. It is not one protocol, but a toolbox of them working together. Picture a security team where each member has one job. What are the main pieces inside that IPSec toolbox? Start with the two workhorses. The authentication header proves the message is genuine and unaltered, handles authentication, enforces access control, and blocks replayed traffic. The encapsulating security payload encrypts the actual contents for confidentiality, adds its own light authentication, and can run in transport or tunnel mode. Supporting them, a hashing mechanism guards integrity, and a compression tool shrinks data before encryption to keep pace with the wire. Together they give you encryption, integrity, and proof of origin in one framework. How does IPSec agree on its secret keys? Through a component called Internet Key Exchange, which itself blends three helpers. One generates and exchanges keys, much like a classic key agreement method. One swaps keys securely, like sealing them in a digital envelope. And one organizes and manages the keys once they exist. The result is a security association, which is simply the agreed-upon method of authentication and encryption between two parties, like a shared keyring. Each IPSec tunnel actually uses two of these one-way associations, one to send and one to receive, and that pairing is what lets a single host run several IPSec VPNs at once. So let's bring it together. An always-on VPN keeps protection up automatically, and a full tunnel beats a split tunnel by forcing all traffic through your own defenses. The protocol family runs from the obsolete point-to-point tunneling protocol through Layer 2 tunneling protocol paired with encryption, to Secure Shell and OpenVPN, and finally to IPSec. IPSec stands out because it bundles authentication, encryption, integrity, and managed key exchange into one framework. Know which protocol fits which job, and your remote connections stay trustworthy. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.